What if I told you that you could explore the back room, but you couldn't see anything until you used a LiDAR gun to unveil what's in front of you? You see, there's been a lot of LiDAR-inspired games recently, and it's an amazing idea. But there's one big problem. It's the same game every time, and there's no replayability. So I decided to take my randomly generated Backrooms game that I made a couple months ago and combine it with some LiDAR tech to make a more replayable, terrifying experience. So how does real-life LiDAR work? In short, lasers are sent from a device. These lasers then bounce off objects and reflect back to the device. Based off of how much time this takes, the device is able to measure the distance and plot a point. With this, it can build what's called a point cloud, and I think it looks really cool. That's our objective. We want to build a point cloud of a Backrooms level. Let's get to work. These games have multiple ways to send out lasers. Say, for example, you press the left mouse button, the gun will send out a small amount of lasers in a circle. But if you were to click the right mouse button, it would send out a full scan of lasers in front of you. I'm going to start by implementing this full scan. Let me just turn this wall off so I can test against something, and let's get started.
A few moments later.
Hey, look at it. This was actually pretty simple to implement. Here's how I did it. Step 1, divide your screen width into equal parts and put a point in each part, creating a row of points. Then do the same for the height of the screen and add a row in each spot. Step 3, decrease the size of the points and increase the density, and you'll have cool looking points, but they look a little too perfect. So the last thing to do is just give a slight random offset to each point, and voila. And if we turn off all the other walls and make the sky black, you can see we've pretty much achieved this LiDAR effect. And the performance is actually really good. We can have millions of these particles and it seems to run fun. There's a little bit more to this than I described earlier, but I think it's a little too deep for this video. So if you're interested in the code, just let me know in the comments and I'll put it up on GitHub so you can see for yourself. Not again. Oh, So previously, this Backrooms game I made had the player carrying a camcorder that allowed them to capture entities. But the challenge was you can only see the entity through the camera. Here's my friend Kevin playing, for example. Oops, wrong clip.
Yeah, I see you, I see you. Nice and slow, baby.
And because this Backrooms game is just gathering dust, I might as well repurpose it to make another scary experience. And it should actually be really easy to do. The main thing is I just have to turn off all the mesh renderers and we're in action. The next thing we have to do is change the camcorder into a LiDAR gun. I think it's fine to just reuse the model. Okay, easy enough, we're making good progress. Previously, the game was a VR game and I wanted this to be played on the PC, so I then had to add some keyboard and mouse controls. But the way the arm and camera moved looked a little robotic as I looked around, so I decided to add some slight lag or sway as the player looks around to make it feel more natural. I also added this light that shines when the gun is firing lasers. Some small details, but they add to the immersion. Finally, it was time to do something about these entities.
Hi. How are you?
Previously, you had to capture them, but I changed it to where you had to just expose them with the LiDAR gun and you were safe. But if you didn't, then you'd likely poop your pants. Let's wrap this all up and we have a game. Let's see how it plays. Oh, and if this video gets more than 50 likes, I'll publish the game on itch.io for free. The game is pretty scary. Normally when I make horror games, I get kind of used to the jump scares and it's not as scary because I'm testing so much. But because the level and the entities in this game are placed randomly, every playthrough is unique. So if you want to experience it for yourself, make sure to